Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Gal.
I'm X.
And I'm Ghost.
Thank you gentlemen for joining me today. First up, the new Black Panther and Captain America game from Amy Hennig unveiled at State of Unreal this year. Amy Hennig is an award-winning writer and director behind Jak 3 and Uncharted 2 Among Thieves, which IGN gave a 10 out of 10 at the time of its release. The game is officially called 1943 Rise of Hydra, set in Paris. Not only will it be running on Unreal Engine 5, but also using the same facial animation tool that Ninja Theory uses for Hellblade 2. It's called the MetaHuman Animator. It allows devs to use an iPhone or stereo helmet-mounted camera to reproduce any facial performance as high-fidelity animation. Apparently, did you see the trailer or not?
Yeah,
I have not.
Oh, okay. Apparently those cinematic scenes were filmed like in real time. They didn't have to go and animate, like, I guess film the mocap and then, animate over top. They were just done in real time as they were talking, which technology, it gets better every day. Also, apparently this is one of two projects she's working on, the other being an untitled Star Wars project. The game will arrive sometime in 2025, so we have that to look forward to. I will not be playing anything else the time that game drops. Just knowing how good of a writer she is, I'm very excited for the story and see where they go from there.
I just want to see some gameplay.
Yeah, that too. But then, because I'm also like, because Captain America obviously is going to play different. It looked like playing as Black Panther would be more like a stealth approach. Just
from the little brief glimpses they gave you.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm excited about that. Dragon's Dogma. Players are killing NPCs to boost their frame rate.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Capcom says a large amount of CPU usage is allocated to each character. In certain situations where numerous characters appear simultaneously, the CPU usage can be very high and may affect frame rate. So they're looking into ways to improve performance in the future. In the meantime, the community has come together to try and find NPCs who are inconsequential to the game. One user suggested killing all non-shopkeeper NPCs, and another suggested killing the quest giver after the mission is finished. Like, we're always resourceful in the time of need. And we'll always go so brutal the first time. Like, just imagine if this stuff was like in real world. Like, imagine a situation in real world. Like, you as the NPC going about your life and then you hear screams in the house next to you because a player has walked into the house and just killed the whole family. Like, you've known this guy for 5 years, then the player comes over to you and he's
style.
Like, he's just covered in blood, blood dripping off his sword. He comes right up to you. You've seen this guy ride by in town multiple days. He seemed friendly. Then he just comes up to you, just stabs you right in the heart.
He asks,
"Sorry, bro, I need the frame rate.
Can I see your wares?" And you're like, "Oh, I don't have any." And then the blade goes right through you.
Yeah, right. Like, he has to ask questions to see if he needs you or not. Right now, because of Dragon's Dogma, like their performance issues and whatnot, and on top of the microtransactions where they're charging for fast travel. I did hear that you can earn all of these things in game, but I don't think in a $70 game those microtransactions like that should not exist. Period. I don't care if you can unlock them in game; they shouldn't exist from the get-go.
Yeah, see, the transportation thing, the teleportation. I played Dark Arisen, and it was the same way, but what they sell in the shop is the port crystal, so that lets you place a fast travel point, and then the other stuff you can find a few of those, but the other stuff is in game. I think it's fairy stones. Those you actually use. It's a consumable you use to travel to each of those points you placed.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm fine with restrictions like that, but when you put it in the shop, then it seems scummy.
Exactly. What were you gonna say, Ghost? I thought you had something.
No. It's just, I understand where you're coming from, because if that's going to be a mechanic in the game, they should just let them do it from the beginning. But I also get where the developer came from, where they want to push the narrative of exploration because of what they've done in the game. But to X's point, if you're going to charge somebody for it, that's kind of that sucks.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Then it makes it seem like you did that just so you can get more money instead of just right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
no. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead, finish.
I was just not on the fast travel thing, but I'm just like, what do you guys think of there just not being any mounts? Because I think they said there were no horses or anything. You're running on foot. Is that true?
Yeah, from what I've heard, that's the way it is. But I haven't played or seen game footage of it. But I think you need a mount. You have to have something for transportation.
My thing is that from that perspective, like if a developer is not going to give you a mount, then that must mean like, hey, all of this stuff is within, a good enough distance where it's not feeling like you're just trekking across the map on foot, and it's not going to seem like a chore just to go from one location to another. I guess it's their way of slowing down the player's progression through the map, and maybe you'll notice more things because you're moving slower. But I feel like in a fantasy game where it looks like that, it's weird not to see a mount or a horse. Like, do people in this world not use them? Do they not exist? Like, I mean, I can't remember the last. Go ahead.
No, and I just find it interesting that they didn't put a travel system in the game where an NPC quest, if it ends with the NPC there, the NPC can die because you didn't get to them fast enough. And then there's no way but to trek all the way back through probably sketchy areas anyways to get there, to get back to where that quest line was, to start it over again to try and make it back in time. I just find it a little weird because that seems frustrating and counterproductive. Like, okay, now I didn't even make it on time, and now how in the heck am I going to get back here if I already knew I didn't make it on time? That's demoralizing.
I can't even remember the last game I played that just didn't have something to use, like to quick travel. If you're not gonna put fast travel, then give me a mount at least. That's just me. If they think you don't need it, so be it. I haven't played the first Dragon's Dogma. I did look at reviews, and if you just scrape off the performance issues and the scummy microtransactions, people are saying that the game is good. It's fun to play. Is it 2 or 4 player co-op?
I don't think it's actual co-op.
It's not co-op.
It's not co-op?
No, there's no multiplayer. You have pawns that you use.
Yeah, you build like an AI team.
You can share. You can like hire pawns from other people's games, but you can't get other people into your game. That's how the first one was.
Oh, okay.
How do you feel about the appearance change?
Looks fantastic.
Microtransaction is what I was going to say. In order to change your appearance.
Microtransaction?
Yeah,
What?
There's the thing you can buy in the shop to change your appearance. You can get it in the game of 2, of course, but they're limited.
It should not be there for a $70 game.
Because like in Dark Arisen,
in general,
in the previous one, in the DLC they added unlimited appearance changes. So by the time I got around to playing Dark Arisen, I could just change it however much I want. So I didn't even know it was a thing that in the first one previously you weren't able to change in a limited number of times.
But even GTA, you can pay for your appearance change, but it's in-game currency. Why do I need to pay real money to be able to change my appearance?
You don't. It's just you're limited to a certain number.
Yeah, but even Elden Ring's limited.
You're limited to a certain number as far
of
as
changes.
just being of changes.
Yeah, like a number of times you can change.
Okay.
Is it like per playthrough or just in general?
Per playthrough, I believe. But that brings me to another topic. What about starting a new game? Have you seen that problem?
This is like borderline. It's almost like getting into the realm of what Metal Gear Survive did, where they would charge for extra saves. But just having one, that's insane to me. I'm sorry, like people love having multiple saves.
And
people do that.
The thing is, there's no button anywhere that says like new game. You can't start a new. You can't even delete your save from within the game.
What?
You have to turn off. You have to turn off Steam Cloud saves. Go into the data file, delete your saves there, and then start it back up.
That's poor game design.
Yes, of all the things we talked about, this is definitely the most egregious. You need to be able to manually save and just have save slots. You can make new characters and load up whatever character you want. That is insane to me. Like the new game thing is absurd.
Yes. My thing is there are certain ways a game should be made. When we're talking about stuff designed inside the game, like your world, yeah, you make certain design changes, like not having mounts, which I also disagree with. Yeah, sure, I can see that, whatever. But when it comes down to like, for the people just, playing your game, getting into a game, the options afforded to you, accessibility, like there should be a standard, and having multiple saves should be a standard for everybody. You should not be telling me that, oh, you only need one save. I don't want to play like that. People should be allowed to play the game how they want to. This is the whole reason we play video games. We can do the stuff in game that we can't do in real life. You know how many people have killed entire like towns in Skyrim? I mean, people save the game, then you go on a genocide run, then just load back up.
Right.
You just want to see what happens. You just want to experiment. That's the whole point of these games. They're pigeonholing you into a certain way of playing. I don't like that.
I don't even know if that's pigeonholing. That's strong arming you into a certain thing.
Yeah, I don't like that. I'll wait till this game go on sale. They're not gonna get my $70. This is just like the same thing that Assassin's Creed did with time savers. I'm not dealing with it.
And you know how Capcom hates mods so much?
Yeah. Oh god. What?
Someone has already made a mod to get 99 copies of the change appearance item. I'm sure they're fuming right now. At least the publisher is.
Yeah, because the mod community, the gamers, the community is celebrating.
Right. They're like,
why do we have to do the?
I'm not gonna pay $2. Just make 99 copies with a mod.
That's all I'm gonna say about that. I didn't say my piece. I'm gonna just let that go because I'm not buying the game right now. I'm not even worried about it, but they should do better. Who made that game again? Capcom publisher. Who made it? X.
I think it's Capcom, isn't it?
Yeah, Capcom.
Oh, so it's just I thought it was like Capcom was the publisher and it was like another studio that did it. Okay.
That's a good question.
Well,
No,
moving
it's
on.
Capcom developer and publisher.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, I was quick with that. I see you.
Moving on. Larian had started working on the Baldur's Gate 3 DLC, but then they decided to cancel it. The founder said that they aren't going to work on any expansions or DLC, nor are they going to work on Baldur's Gate 4 either. They're planning on moving away from D&D entirely. He said when they had started making the expansion, he said that you could tell that the team just felt like they had to make it instead of like having their heart in the project. He said we just felt like, you make the game, then you just start making DLC on it. And he could tell that the CEO said that he could tell, the founder said he could tell that the team wasn't really into it. So he went on vacation, thought about it for a while. When he came back, he just told everybody, we're not going to do it. He said after he said that, you could tell that the team was excited, and like a couple of people came up to him and was like, thank God. He said making the DLC felt more like routine work. There was no excitement to actually make it. He said the Divinity Original Sin 3 won't be the next game, but it will be different than what you think it is, but still similar. I say good for them. If they felt, Baldur's Gate is a massive game. I had no idea this game was 4 discs on physical. That's insane to me.
Jeez.
The game is massive. Game of the year, well deserved. Yeah, I think they should be able to move on from whatever. They should be able to do whatever they want to, and good for their founder.
Recognizing that.
Yeah, recognizing
I agree.
that his team was done.
I am sad that they won't get more content, but as long as they get that official mod support out, I'm good. I'll be happy.
Yeah, because
let the community make it.
Yeah, tell them what kind of deviancy is coming out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I just know what can be done when gamers put their minds together. My last major story was that Diablo 4 is getting a major overhaul. When I put back, Diablo 4 was my first experience with a Diablo game. I love top-down arena type games, RPG, absolutely. If I can make a build, absolutely, I will sink at least 100 hours into something. But I felt like after the campaign and I got my 60 hours out of it, I was just done. There was nothing more to excite me. Every time that Ghost was playing, because I think I stopped it for a while, Ghost kept playing for a while, and he just kept adding on to the fact that there was nothing.
The repetitiveness
Yeah, it's
of
constant.
the end game. It was
Yeah, it's
rough.
repetitive, and I think I didn't play, but I think you were telling me that you kept having to fight the same boss over and over again.
Yeah, it was for the end game, because the only thing you could really do was XP grind until they brought in like the hell tides and things like that. So you were really just grinding certain caves or dungeons for gear, and it wasn't even a good, I guess, replay game loop. It was just literally the same 1 or 2 dungeons everybody was running, and they even came out before that first season that once you pretty much get to level 75, the game's over. And that's what really hurt them during that first season, because nothing was really added.
Yeah, I mean, you got a big game like that, replayability is like your main factor. It should be your main focus. I mean, imagine getting to the end of the division and then having nothing else to do. Right, that defeats the whole point of this looter shooter.
Yep.
So the leveling up is faster. The further you move up to the world tiers, the more XP you will receive. At tier 2, you get 50% bonus, tier 3, 100%, and tier 4, 250%. When previously, these used to be 25, 50. Yeah, 25, 50, and 200. Yes, I am all for it, because then, like, I won't feel so bad about, like, oh, I want to go back and start this character because I'm interested in seeing what they look like in the end game. Now, it won't take me so long to get up to level 50 so I can see if, like, oh, maybe I want to stick with this character for a while. So this will actually make me want to go back and try different people. Because if the grind is so severe on one character, there's no need. I'm good.
Yep.
You also won't have to keep every legendary item you've found. The original aspect system forced you to keep legendary items or extracted aspects in your stash, but they've done away with that. Legendary aspects will now permanently be available within the Codex of Power. Most aspects can roll with random stats that determine the strength of the bonus to those stats. As you find legendary items with higher rolls, you can dismantle these at the blacksmith, and this will permanently increase the number in the codex. This is very similar to the optimization station in the Division 2, where if you would find different gear sets within the same brand and you dismantle those at the station, then you could stack those onto
into level up.
Yeah,
like level up seeker.
Yeah, and then like that meter, like if say you had 15% critical hit say if you had 13% critical hit damage and you found a vest out in the open world that had like 15%, you could just take that 15% off that vest, roll that into that permanent stat. Now you have 15% that you can roll onto any gear that you want. I thought that was a really good system. I actually enjoyed that.
Yeah, because you can actually end up making like god roll gear out of that too.
Yeah, exactly. And it actually made you want, at the time when we were deep in, it made you want to go back out there and keep grinding.
Absolutely.
But I will say that the grind on the Division is a grind. There is no such thing as, for me anyway, I'm never starting a new character on the Division. I'm done.
No, there's just too much that goes into just the build in general, and by the time you actually get to a point to where you're starting to build one again, the meta's going to change, and the rebalancing is just going to ruin it.
Is there no respec option in that game?
There is a respec, but you don't want to respec anything. That's the problem. And you only get one attribute you can actually change off of a certain item.
Well, I would say the only reason you would respec, like say if you picked up a random gun in the open world that just had they come with 3 stats on them, and like say if you get like all 3 of those stats are like really low, then you would try and just go and do like a regular respec and try and get those stats to roll up as high as you can, or keep like playing like this Russian roulette with the gear to try and get those stats as close as you can to god rolled.
Oh,
and
so you're respecting the gear itself, not your character. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, just
Correct.
the gear. Mm-hmm.
I got you.
And then you would try to optimize those further by farming for different materials.
Specific gear types and stuff.
Yeah. Also, powerful items will drop more often in Diablo. Uniques will now drop in worlds tier 1 and 2, and uber uniques can drop off level 55 or higher mobs. 925 is the max for item power now, which will always drop off of level 95 or higher mobs, which means that by level 80, Your item power will be irrelevant, so you'll just be looking for stats at this point. This is insane that this wasn't originally how it should have been done. Because Ghost, you got to the end game, or for Howard. Say again.
I did. I did
Yeah.
get
So,
to the end game.
are you telling me that once you get, you know how in the division you get to a certain level, and after a certain level, all gear that drops is like level 30. Okay, that's the standard. So that way, when you're at that level, you're just looking for stats on weapons at this point. Are you telling me in the Diablo, the gear that will drop can be lower than what you are?
Yes, in the original development of the game, yes, and in season 1, but I guess they're changing that to where you don't have to worry about that as a legendary anymore. It's all just going to drop with that stat on it now, which is nice because why are you always giving me gear that's lower when I'm trying to grind for a higher piece of gear? So they're finally listening a little bit with that, because that just makes it a lot easier.
That's insane to me. They're also adding 2 new crafting systems, tempering and masterworking. It lets you add specific stats onto your items, whether you want movement speed or a class specific stat. Previously, you had a decision between cooldown reduction and critical strike chance, and apparently this led to a lot of builds being absolutely insane, particularly the rogue build, which definitely it takes advantage from having critical strike and cooldown reduction. This flexibility moves the game closer to last Epoch, which is always praised for its build variety. Me personally, I've always seen plenty of YouTube videos talking about how you should be playing this game over Diablo, which is insane because I felt like Diablo was the one to set the standard for how these games should go. They're also changing the new in-game dungeons, so similar to Diablo 3's Greater Rifts, timed dungeons that get harder as you go up in tiers. The new name is called the Pit of the Artificer, like nightmare dungeons, but you have to race to the end for rare loot and materials. There will be over 100 tiers with increasingly harder monsters, and the loot at the end will get better as you reach higher levels. The dungeons in the pit will drop items to summon tormented bosses that will drop materials to make an uber unique of your choice on the first kill. I also like that. That means a guaranteed uber unique. And I also wonder if these, once you get to the end of these dungeons, is that drop guaranteed? Is that summon guaranteed at the end? Which I hope at this point. Just make the game fun. There should be a little bit of grind, but at least just try to make it fun. But
I wonder if they're going to make it to where you have to kill a boss a certain way to be able to get the unique drop.
I don't like that either. Let's not have a enemies only die by grenade situation in Diablo. I will
never know.
I will crash out immediately. But that's all I had. Those are my 3 big stories. X, what else did you have for us?
The vast majority of my stuff was about Dragon's Dogma.
Oh, okay.
I did have one thing that I thought was interesting.
What?
Have you heard about Kotaku? Well, they do gaming news and all that sort of stuff, but they're higher ups. Go Media? I don't know what it's called, but they want them to pivot away from politically and I guess inclined news and to focus on game guides. And a lot of the writers who do a lot of their, I guess, more opinionated pieces are quitting because of that.
Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, not everybody wants to write about guides.
Yeah, but Kotaku's fallen quite a bit. I don't know if you.
I don't even use Kotaku, honestly.
Exactly. There's a reason why you don't.
From the get-go, the site is not the best to use.
No, it isn't.
From what I can see, it's just a bunch of ads on the screen. I'm like, bro, what is this? Who made this site? I don't know who y'all hired to do web development. Please fire them. But yeah, I just don't use the site. But kind of sucks for the writers if you just, you got your job, but now your boss just wants you to write guides for games.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they're not making enough money that way, I guess they're gonna try to do something. Everyone's gonna lose their job if they don't make any money.
Yeah, I'm not writing them.
But yeah, I mean, if they don't want to write for that, if they don't want to write about that, then of course, leave. You gotta find somewhere else because you're gonna be the first one they get rid of.
Exactly. Don't even dare try to fight back.
But yeah, that's the only thing I had.
Oh, okay. Anybody have any I would go ahead and say me and Ghost have been playing Battlefield, and I don't know X if I told you that they advertised these two maps, and I say two maps loosely, because they brought a new they called a new map called Haven, which is more in line with how Battlefield maps should be. It's more close quarters.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, but then they had another map called Stadium, which is just a cutout section of a bigger map that they already have in the game, and they marketed it as a new map. And I have yet to play on this map. Ghost said it might be coming in a later time, but I'm like, but they advertised this on the trailer, so where is it? I have yet to play on this new map. I went into Conquest, the full one, which I absolutely hate, and then I went to just regular Conquest 64 and still haven't played on it. So I don't know where it's at.
In the portal, so I don't know where it's at.
Right, it's hiding from me. But yeah, it's.
I'm surprised you keep going back to it as much as you complain.
I am surprised too. You know what? It's because it is absolutely like one of my favorite FPS, like completely. The only thing that stands up to it is Titanfall, honestly. But when I began playing Battlefield back during like Battlefield 3, which was peak Battlefield, I fell in love with that game. I left COD because of Battlefield. Battlefield is it's my go-to. That's what I look forward to. Everybody was hyped during that time. Right before Christmas, we got that trailer. I was like, oh yeah, they're listening to the community. Finally. And on top of that, we had come from two past Battlefields who were more focused on World War 1 and 2. So I'm thinking, okay, yeah, we're getting back to the modern. This is going to be on the PlayStation 5. Yeah, we're set to go. Yeah, we were not set to go. What an absolute disaster. But I play it because I'm trying to get whatever happiness I can drain from what's left of this carcass at this point.
Well, that was another game like Diablo. We got to level 57 and 55, and pretty much, I mean, everything was done at Diablo, but it was the same thing for their battle pass and all their content here. You maxed out way before level 100. So what else are you grinding for? Because the other two game modes that they put out were not great either.
That's true. Portal crashed.
And no campaign.
Yep, $70 still no campaign, even though they said they were working on it. So where is it? But yeah, that's where we're at. Huey, did you have anything? Huey? Oh, what to say?
Yes, I did.
Here we go.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. How are you, sir?
Okay,
How are you doing today?
Okay,
I'm doing great. Fantastic.
Okay,
Thank you for asking. You just come in here, just think you're going to start telling us the news and whatnot? You think you were just going to come up in here?
My man literally slid in the back and just sat down.
Yeah, he just stared at us as we were talking. Go ahead, Huey.
Share with the class.
Proceed. Yeah.
Okay,
the floor is yours.
So last week I spoke about the PlayStation 5 Pro specs that was leaked. Which is also known as Project Trinity. So Sony have announced that they're doing an internal investigation to find out how it was leaked.
So they got them dogs hunting.
They're gonna search, boy.
So
Man.
which kind of confirms that the specs are 100% correct and they're leaked.
Yeah, because now they are pissed. Like, I want you to find which one, and I want them to feel the full force of the law when we find it. I mean, I just don't understand. Like, you're risking your job to leak something. Why?
It might not even be an intentional leak. We'll see if they find out.
Oh man, if it was a mistake.
It was through a third-party source that leaked the PlayStation 5 Pro specs last week.
Yeah, but I'm saying doesn't mean the third party works there. I'm saying they could have got it from someone who works there. Maybe they took it illegally, or maybe they coerced them, or maybe it was just a simple exchange. Who knows?
Exchange of funds.
Right, yeah.
Meet me at the train station.
Oh my gosh. There's a flash drive on the bench by the tree.
Yeah, right. Man. Oh well, I feel bad for that person when they do find you. They got the money. Okay.
Yeah, that's the update with the PlayStation 5 Pro. Also use Metal Gear Solid 3. So the voice actor David Hayter, he does the voice for Solid Snake. On the Twitter page, he showed the opening. So when you start up the game, it shows the opening page for Delta Snake Eater. He also said he was able to play the opening of the game up until the famous bridge cutscene, and he said
Played
it's
it?
a really good game.
He said he played all the way up to the first cutscene.
No, so he played starting from the opening of the game up
Oh, okay.
until the famous bridge cutscene.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so that's how much he was able to play. And he said that from playing the remake, he said he commented as spectacular. That's his words.
We'll see. I did.
Which you would see the opening. I put it in the page, the tweet, so he showed the opening of the game.
I'll go back and look at it.
Like the
But I
start
am
screen.
hyped. I am hyped for this game because I didn't get to play, Metal Gear during its peak, because this came, Metal Gear 3 came out on what, the PlayStation, the first one, or was it the second? The original Snake Eater. Which console did it come out?
I think it was
So
PS2.
he released in 2004 through PlayStation 2.
Okay. Well, I didn't know nothing about Metal
And
Gear at that point.
And it later released on PDS and all those.
Yeah, okay. My first Metal Gear was Metal Gear 4. Played through all of that, loved it. But I am very excited for Snake Eater because apparently it's like their best. So yeah, I love stealth. Anything dealing with that, love the series. I'm excited.
So is Metal Gear Solid your favorite stealth?
Trying to think if there's anything. I love Splinter Cell as well.
Should you prefer it over Hitman Blood Money? That's probably one of my most
Hitman
memorable
is.
stuff.
I think Metal Gear does it better. I would say Metal Gear, Splinter Cell than Hitman when they actually make a good Splinter Cell. I think the last Splinter Cell I played was on PlayStation 3. I think that was what was it called? Blacklist, I think. And I think the one before that was called Pandora's Box. That was on PlayStation 2. Now I played the hell out of that game. Loved it. But yeah, I love stealth-focused games. I will play the hell out of them.
I probably will play. Before I buy this, I think it's best if I eventually later in the year I play the original collection that they released.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you like them classic games.
Yeah, of course.
You like them retro. I can't go back into it. I mean, the graphics.
Oh,
They gotta bring.
that.
No, I will do that, Huey. I just don't have. I can't look at polygons anymore. I'm sorry. I have been shown what it. I not saying it's not a bad game, but I need the graphics to come up for me to actually enjoy it. I need to know what's going on. I need to see the facial expressions. I need to see how the characters are feeling in this moment. I can't do that with polygons.
That's fair. But yeah, I'm okay with I know graphics have improved over the years. I'm okay playing the older games that have not. I would say aged well, but it's not as good compared to now.
Oh, okay.
That's just me. That's just my preference.
Yeah. So people like what they like, I guess.
Also, there's an update with the PlayStation 5 Explore page. So there's a current beta running. Is added new features to the Explore page, such as backgrounds, friend activities, the controller's battery life, and links to console storage. It's been rolled out to some PlayStation 5 users and is only exclusive to USA accounts for the moment.
Is there like there's no pictures or anything or videos of this?
Yes, I could put a link to it in the chat if you want to.
Yeah, you can do that later, and then I'll put it in the video.
Okay.
But
It's just
I really
backgrounds.
wish.
Yeah. When it says backgrounds, I thought for a moment it's going to be themes, but I got my hopes up for no reason.
Stop getting your hopes up. That's the main problem.
But I know, but enough's enough.
Well, Huey said it's enough is enough, so I guess I don't know what else we're gonna do with that. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in.
Add one more.
Well, we ain't got the time. We already over time. We're 10 minutes over time, so I guess you just gonna have to save it for another video, or we can do a separate one. Or we 10
save it for the
minutes
next
over.
one.
Yeah, we can just save it for the next one, or you could just have your own little show. Who knows? But thank you guys for listening. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss an episode. Make sure to check out our Helldiver series, and because we're keeping up with the patch notes and these new leaks. So stay tuned for those as well. We'll see you guys next time.